please stand for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
From our studios in North Central High School, the pride of Washington Township, it's Central Indiana's premier high school. It's the news you need when you need it. This is NC News.
Good morning from NC News. I'm Frank Reed.
And I'm Elizabeth Mannheimer. Here's your news and headlines for Tuesday, March 18th, 2014.
Seniors, are you interested in being selected to speak on behalf of your classmates at the 2014 commencement ceremony? If so, please attend a one-time only information call-out meeting tomorrow at 2:50 p.m. in Mrs. Decker's room, D580. You'll receive an information packet that details eligibility requirements, speech draft due dates, and audition times. Again, seniors, if you're interested in auditioning to be a commencement speaker, please attend the very important call-out meeting tomorrow afternoon in D580.
Juniors, the annual junior night inside the college admissions office is Tuesday night starting at 7 to 9 p.m. in the auditorium. We will once again welcome IU and Purdue representatives, and this year we will also be joined by admissions officers from Washington University and St. Louis. Get the inside scoop on what colleges are looking for and be the first to receive a copy of the college handbook prepared exclusively for NC students. You can also register to win a Princeton Review test prep course valued at $599 at junior night tomorrow starting at 7 in the NC auditorium.
Attention all ladies of NC. Please plan to join Ladies First tomorrow from 2:50 to 4:10 p.m. in H178. Join them for the last celebration of Women's Month. This meeting is open to all females grades 9 through 12. They had an exciting month learning about all the various inspirations, and they want you to be a part of the excitement. Late bus passes will be provided. If you have questions, please see Mrs. Fleming or Miss Williams in the guidance office. Ladies First hopes to see you tomorrow afternoon in H178.
We'll be right back with more news after this Panther Spirit break.
North Central is Indiana's premier public high school.
With unparalleled academic programs, countless extracurricular opportunities, award-winning performing arts ensembles, and highly competitive athletic teams, North Central is truly an international baccalaureate world school.
Proud Panther alumni have a long tradition of becoming industry leaders, influential policymakers, groundbreaking scientists, and creative artisans, proving that North Central prepares all students to lead the way in any path they choose.
North Central High School. Achievement through scholarship, honesty, and respect.
Welcome back to NC News. Here are more Panther headlines.
The Teens for Right to Life Club
North Central is Indiana's premier public
in
high school.
M273, Miss Cabrick's room. Snacks and late bus passes will be provided. They will be planning activities for the upcoming months. That's Teens for the Right to Life this afternoon in M273.
The Doctor Who Club will meet today after school in room N691. Late bus passes will be provided. That's Doctor Who this afternoon in N691.
Attention all ACE participants. This is a reminder that there will be a meeting in D136, Mr. Gibson's room on Thursday after school. Please be prompt and come hungry. Once again, ACE participants, D136, right after school Thursday.
Attention stage crew. If you made the run crew for Moon Over Buffalo, you must attend the organizational meeting today at 2:50 p.m. in the auditorium. The crew list is posted on the scene shop door. If you are on the run crew, please be in the auditorium right after school today.
Japan Club will be having its next meeting tomorrow after school in B535, Nakamura Sensei's room. They will be viewing a presentation on Japanese tea ceremonies, as well as concluding the application process for officer candidates. Please be sure to attend this meeting if you're interested in filling an officer position for next school year. Late bus passes will be provided at the Japan Club meeting tomorrow after school. Bring your $5 club dues if you have not already done so for this semester.
And now, not really news. J.K. Rowling's best-selling book series has created a cult-like following of people who want to know more and more about the wizarding world of Harry Potter. Several years after the novel, J.K. has finally released the official guide to the Quidditch World Cup. This 2,400-word short work, available exclusively on pottermore.com, not only provides some history on the magical sport, but also details rules, including, but not limited to, the appropriate use of dragons. Now all of your questions can be answered.
That's your news and headlines for Thursday. For more information on these and other stories, log on to nchs.cc or check out the NC News YouTube channel.
With 3 days till spring break 2014, we here at NC News, along with our friends in Student Council, want to make sure everyone knows the importance of making safe decisions. With that, here's Safe Decisions Week's special report.
21-year-old Chandler Gerber rear-ended an Amish buggy last year in Adams County. The accident killed 2 young children and a teenager.
We're here to talk about Safe Decisions Week and the hazards of texting and driving. So Chandler, can you explain to us what happened the day of your accident?
Yeah, I was working here in Bluffton for my wife's uncle, and we clean carpets. And on this day of the accident, we had a job maybe 45 minutes away to an hour away, and got in the van, got everything ready, and the other guy was going to follow me maybe 10 or 15 minutes behind me, and started driving, and it was maybe 7:45 in the morning, and long drive, you know.
Yeah.
Got kind of bored right off the bat, and you know, like I had done so many times before, I just kind of started texting my wife, and nothing important, just kind of, you know, odds and ends and miscellaneous stuff just to kind of pass the time. And you know, we were driving, and I was riding right into the sun, so it was already, you know, pretty difficult to see. Then you had texting, it was even worse. And I was texting, I was reading a message whenever the accident happened, and I was driving about 60 miles an hour, and I just remember sound, you know, exploding, glass breaking, screeching, crunching, all those things. And you know, when this happens, you don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever get into a situation like that, you can't process it, you know, real quick. And the van kind of came, you know, to a stop. It was slowing and kind of rolling and starting to slow down. And as it came to a stop, a body came off the top of the van, and I knew that I'd hit something.
He overtook the Amish right there, right just where about my car is, and basically hit the Amish buggy from behind, and just ended up all the way from the point where my car is here. It's about 400 feet, 430 feet where he ended up, where the van ended up.
I couldn't, you know, process what had happened that quick. Other than I knew I'd obviously hit something. And so then the van came to a stop. I hopped out of the van, and somehow there was nobody coming or going on this main road. And I ran around the back of the van, and it was about 8 in the morning, and there were just bodies laying there in the ditch. And I could see the buggy, so I knew I'd hit an Amish buggy.
You had all kinds of chaos here. This is the van that was driven by Chandler Gerber. As you can see, the front of the vehicle is just totally smashed here. He was devastated. He was crying. He was just almost in a panic mode.
And immediately, you know, I just called 911. And, you know, how I was able to even think to do that, I don't know. But I called them right away, and remember the lady picked up and said, you know, dispatch 911 or whatever she said, I can't remember. But I said, I just hit an Amish buggy. I said, I think I killed people. I said, you got to get out here. You got to get an ambulance out here. And she was, you know, trying to ask me where I was at. I said, I have no idea. I said, on 124 here. I said, you got to get some ambulances out here. And that's how quick it happened. You know, that's how quick a text message changed, you know, my life,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and how things have been and will go for me. You know, it's one text message can change everything, and that's kind of what I learned the hard way that day. And so I've kind of gone out and done different things and trying to bring awareness to it. And yeah, that kind of started a journey then from us. You know, it's been a couple years ago now, so.
Were you injured in the accident at all?
No, I wasn't injured in it. I was, you know, I guess fortunate, if you want to say that, to be okay. But you know, it's just hard. You know, it's hard. You know, physically there was no injuries. You know, but it just, you can't shake something like that.
Yeah.
You know, you have it on your conscience every day. You know, gone through a lot of counseling and different things. Gone through depression and anxiety and whatnot. But you know, yeah. So no, to answer the question, I was not physically injured, but I would say there's definitely been, you know, psychological issues that have stemmed from having 3 fatalities on your conscience every day. You know.
I saw the youngest of the children, 3-year-old Enos. He was laying face down in the ditch right here, just to our side, right behind, right in front of me here, actually. He looked like he was asleep until we rolled him over, and we saw the injuries to his face, injuries to his legs, looked like they were both broken. It was very devastating.
Have you had any contact with the family?
Yeah, right as the accident happened, my wife was about 7 months pregnant, and so we were getting ready to have our daughter. We were all excited, and this happened, and we didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah.
And immediately there was lawyers from the insurance company and all these different people involved, and they were all, telling me, you can't do this, can't do that. And the family had contacted or gotten a hold of, different friends and people in the community, and had said, hey, we'd really like to meet Chandler, and this is, a month into it, or not even, this was, a few days into it. One of their children that passed away then, he was in the hospital, and they were wanting to meet me already and say, hey, we forgive him, we want to meet him. And,
wow.
And I couldn't meet him because, like I said, there were lawyers and everybody else was, all concerned about what I would say and all this and that. So couldn't meet him right away. Family and friends did, and they said they were a really neat family, really forgiving. It was amazing to me. You lose some of your family members, and already you're, forgiving the person who caused it and wanting to meet him. But then after about a year passed, all that kind of was behind us, and then we went out and met the family. It was over the summer. Went out there with my in-laws and my parents, my wife and our daughter, and we went out and pulled in. And I thought it was going to maybe be a 5 or 10 minute meet and greet, and I wanted obviously to apologize and just say I'm so sorry. I wish I could undo it, And we walked up, and all the family was out on the porch of the house, and they invited us in, and we were probably there for an hour and a half. They were giving us popcorn and pop and pie and all this. It was crazy. It was like we had known him for 20 or 30 years. So yeah, that's kind of something that I've learned through that whole experience is how to forgive other people. I think everybody has people that they maybe hold grudges against or don't like or whatever. And that's going to happen to some extent regardless, but they taught me that in order to move on in life from anything, you have to have forgiveness.
Yeah.
And so it's really been neat to experience that.
How did that just affect your family going into, you were going to have a baby? Was that really hard?
Yeah, we were just talking about that before you guys got here, that, I said to my wife, I said, looking back in hindsight, I don't know how we, survived that year, from when the accident happened to when the legal stuff ended. It was about a year. And just in hindsight, it's just like, I don't know how we survived it, because it was, there was a lot of stress, obviously, on us every day waiting for the phone to ring and what was going to happen. It's kind of living with that every day and then trying to work in the middle of it and having the guilt, and it was a whole thing. But, we said right off the bat that it was just a God thing to have our daughter born, right after that all happened, because that was just a distraction for the whole, year, kind of watching her grow up and teaching her stuff. So that was kind of, neat to see how that timing all played out. But yeah, it was obviously, a lot of stress. We're thankful how it all played out, and we were able to, meet the family, tell them just how sorry I was. And I told them, I said, hey, I'm going to do everything I can to bring awareness to this issue so that this doesn't happen again. And that's kind of what we've been doing now for the last, year or so. And it's been pretty neat to see all the doors that have opened up.
Do you know any other forms of distracted driving or texting and driving that have caused bad accidents?
Well, I think as far as strictly legally speaking, I think you can talk on your phone while you're driving. You can play a game even I think on your phone, and that's legal. You can check emails. The only thing that's actually illegal is texting and driving. So it's one of those things that it's so hard to prove. For people, it's been amazing how many people have told me that work in hospitals or that work in law enforcement things. They've come up to me since this all kind of came out, and they said, Chandler, it's really kind of weird, when you see so many people come into the hospital, for car accidents or so many things happen like that, and they say, oh, that deer jumped out in front of me, and I swear they said it's just kind of funny how many deer, jump out in front of people. They said, a lot of it is people messing with their phones, and they don't want to admit it,
So like, those things might be legal, but they're still very
right. They're legal, but they're still obviously going to be distracting. And that's why I've said from the beginning that texting and driving, I don't think is one of those things that should be legislated so much. It should be educated.
Yeah.
And by going out and showing people the dangers of texting and driving.
Do you know if like drinking and driving and texting and driving are like similar in the dangers at all?
Comparable.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've never seen like just a study on it. I mean, I've heard people say that it's just as dangerous as drinking and driving, because when you take your eyes off the road, and you're driving 55 miles an hour. I've heard so many statistics on these things, but when you take your eyes off the road and you're driving 55 miles an hour or 60 miles an hour, you take your eyes off the road for 3 or 4 seconds to text, and you've gone the length of the football field, without seeing what you're doing. So I don't know which is more dangerous. They're both obviously dangerous, and there's efforts on both sides to prevent those things. But I think with texting and driving, it's just a little more new in the last 5 or 6 or 7 years. To where we have to create kind of a stigma on it, like drinking and driving. When you think of drinking and driving, you think of just why would you do that? It's just kind of that everybody's got that image in their mind of you never do that. Where texting and driving is, well, we text all day, we can do it now. So we've got to kind of shift it to where you think of texting and driving, you think of the same type of thing. Oh, that's crazy, I would never do that.
Do you like when you drive now? Do you use like hands-free devices or like hand it to someone else in the car? Definitely like recommend that to kids.
Yeah, I mean, I went out and got a Bluetooth. Just because you can just do it all while you're watching the road. You can hit a button and just do all of it from there. My phone, I just set it down, in the cup holder or whatever, and I just don't look at it while you're driving, just because, and that's the thing. Everybody thinks that it'll never happen to them, and that's what I always thought. It'll never happen to me. That always happens to somebody that's dumb or somebody that's not good at texting or whatever. But it can happen to anybody. Just 2 or 3 seconds looking down can change your life. Just don't text and drive. Just put your phone down, leave it in the back seat, wherever. And there's a lot of things moving in that direction to block using phones while you're driving. Anyways, I know certain companies have apps. AT&T has an app where you can have it where you're driving, it'll kick on and block messages and things, and that's probably where it'll need to be. Where technology can come in and kind of prevent it. Kind of prevent people from harming themselves, basically. Where you just can't access your phone while you're driving.
So like it can wait. Like the slogan, it can wait. Like it actually can wait.
Yeah, it can wait. I mean, that's what it comes down to is it can wait. It's not like your average text message is saying, hey, my son's choking, I need you to come help, right? Most of them are, hey, what are you doing today? Are you going to practice? Are you going to the game? Are you going to, just little stuff. And it's like, just put it down and take care of it when you get there.
Do you remember what you were texting your wife or reading from your wife when
they said the last message I sent my wife was, I love you. And I don't remember what she had sent me. Probably, I love you. She probably sent that to me and I sent it back. But yeah, the last message I had actually sent was, I love you. Which my wife, when they told us that when we were doing the documentary, she just broke down. Yeah. But she didn't know I was driving her. She always makes me tell that to people. She's like, I didn't know you were driving when we were texting. She always makes me point that out, that she's like, I didn't know. So, it wasn't anything that she did, and knew. It was one of those things that I knew, but I just did it anyways. And, Fox 59 out of Indy just did a story where they put the hidden cameras in the kid's car. They told the parents, and then they put the camera in there. And the dad knew it was in there. They told him, and gets in the car and was texting while he was driving. And so it just shows that it's such a habit. It's such a habit, because people text all day at work, all day at school, all day wherever they're at, and then they get in the car and they think, well, I'm doing this all day. Your phone's just always right there. Yeah. And for a guy to know that the camera was in there and he's doing an undercover thing for texting and driving, and he forgets and starts texting while he's driving, it just shows that there's a mindset. And he even said, it's just habit. It's just bad habit. You get so used to it, and you just kind of forget. And they asked the kid, have you ever thought of anything that can happen while you're texting? And he said no. He said, I really haven't thought about it. You just get in your car and you just text. That's just what you do. And so it takes organizations and commercials and different things to show people what can happen so they kind of think about it before they actually do it.